Good morning. Having a hard time getting going. It's safe to say I don't want to get up this morning. But we're going to try to get 25 miles. Toe feels basically the same. I mean, I haven't walked on it, but feels like there's a crease. I'd sprain my knee if I tried any harder to look at it. It's on the bottom of my big toe on my right foot, but it's on the bottom, but it's more to the inside next to the other toe, and I can't see it no matter which way I twist my ankle and toe. So I honestly am afraid I'm going to sprain my ankle if I try any harder to look at it. Maybe I can take a picture of it, but it doesn't seem like a blister, but it's probably a blister. But I could feel it even when I'm not walking on it. So I have 2 strips of moleskin left, which is my go-to for hot spots and blisters. And then I have some assorted tapes. This is a dry tape that I got the last time that the moisture for dressing the blisters seemed to be too much. So maybe I'll try this tomorrow and see how it goes. So my challenge is that I have 2 days, I'm hoping, to get to the junction where I can go to Bucks Lake or Quincy. And I was going to go to Bucks Lake because it seems like I can just get in and out of there myself. But that general store doesn't seem like it would have moleskin. I'd be able to find moleskin in Quincy. It's disappointing because that's what the Ingenie toe liner is supposed to do. Just, I don't know what happened. The toe liner took 1 day off, and here we are. And we are right back on the PCT. Interesting little note, it's way too heavy to carry out. But I found this in camp as I was wandering around. I think it's for marine, like salt water, but it's a Katahdin, making water, drinking water. It's super heavy though. It looks like it's got a little pump and it doesn't have nowhere or anything mechanical, but I mean there's a lot of heavy parts in there. I can't be that much of an angel to the environment and carry that out. Plus it's a pretty popular campsite. I didn't film it because I was just tired in my tent, but somebody drove a truck into the lake and somebody else was driving an ATV down there. Somebody had dance music going until at least 10 or 11. As loud as they were, I was afraid it was going to be worse, so I'm trying not to complain. Foot feels good. Toe feels good. So I got a look at it. It's a hot spot. It feels pretty good right now, better than it did yesterday. It's 8 o'clock. I basically broke camp at 8 o'clock. But if there was ever a day to allow myself some grace and be patient, it's today. I got no sleep the night before last, and I was dead on my feet when I started yesterday. This is funny. It's not a lot of snow, and I think the trail is right over there, but it is slippery. And it is steep. And the last time I was on snow, I took a silly chance. I slipped before I took the silly chance anyway, but my last experience was enough to teach me that I should just go up and over this. I just found myself maybe 500 feet off trail over there. It looked just like this, except it had a tire track. There are way too many blue blazes, marked and unmarked, going to all these different lakes. Some of them I think are ATV, motorbike trails. And this is exactly what I'm talking about as far as this trail has too many blue blazes and junctions. I just have to step over a log. I'm on the PCT. Logs usually mean don't go this way. But then I come to an intersection, there's a sign. There's a log blocking off that trail, a log blocking off that trail. That's probably not a trail. But then you read the sign, no mention of the PCT. All different things pointing off in that direction. The PCT goes this way, I looked at far out. But the big stupid log, it's just too complicated. It should be more clear. Just put a PCT blaze somewhere. I don't know, maybe it's on the underside of that log that's laying across the trail. Sometimes you're climbing up the ridge one side of the mountain and the air's just dead and it's so hot, and then you get to the top and the breeze is just so cool, and if you can find the shade, it's like dropping the temperature 10 or 20 degrees. I don't want to exaggerate, but it's so nice. It's a little after 12, and about 12:15 I looked at far out, and it looked like I was on pace to do what I wanted to do last night, which is about 25 miles. Adler Springs, looks like there's water and camping, and if I do about 2 25-mile days, I'll put myself in position to be able to go in on Tuesday. Today's Sunday, so hike the rest of the way Monday and go in as early as I want Tuesday morning to Bucks Lake or Quincy, excuse me. And that is also part of my dilemma, being an overthinker. I've been leaning towards going to Bucks Lake the whole time, but I haven't ruled out Quincy. They seem to have a really good trail angel group. Just spoke to 2 nice people. This guy who I actually camped next to, he was asleep when I got there. I watched him break camp this morning, but I just passed him and then he just passed me. Spoke to him, he's a real nice guy. And this other woman who was going relatively slow, but she was stopping in the shade, and she said she was hiking shade to shade. And it just sounded like such a good idea, so I had to stop and sit in the shade, and I mixed some water and had some electrolytes and put some caffeine in it. And I'm going to do what I should have done yesterday. I have no idea why my big toe was bothering me yesterday, and now I'm dealing with the repercussions, but I haven't been stopping and taking my shoes and socks off. And even if it's just shaking out your socks like this section is pretty dusty. So it's like it wants to be a desert. So my foot actually feels pretty good today, but there's something on it, it just doesn't hurt. So whether it's a hot spot or a blister, it's an abrasion from either the sock or the shoe or just walking X amount of miles a day for an accumulation of over 1,200 miles. I slept with my shoes on because I was in public in Sierra City. I doubt that has something to do with it, but it might, because my feet never really breathed. They were in my shoes all night. I never sleep with my shoes on, like, ever. I can't think of a scenario in my life where I slept with my shoes on all night. So hiked in my shoes all day, slept in them all night, hiked in them all day. That could be it. It could be my body compensating for, my back has felt fine ever since I walked out of Soda Springs, but my hip had been bothering me before my back was bothering me. My right hamstring tightens up sometimes, so I might just have something completely off with my kinetic chain, and my right foot might be compensating for it. So I just found out, talking to a couple of guys, there's a road coming up that I wasn't aware of. Quincy Laporta Road or something like that. It'll be before where I intend to camp, and you can get into Quincy that way. But the PCTA is recommending you skip from that road up to the second access road to Bucks Lake, and it's about 30 miles. So I was just planning on hiking through all that, and I still am. So it's a burn scar. There was a fire, but it's not closed, and the guys were just saying it hasn't been maintained in 4 or 5 years. So as far as trail maintenance goes, there's a lot of blowdowns. But I've been reading in the far-out comments that there's a lot of blowdowns in that section. Some people are trying to say they're doing trail maintenance and there aren't that many blowdowns. Other people are saying you're full of it, there's a lot of blowdowns. So it's a matter of opinion. I love to complain about blowdowns. In fact, I hate them. However, I've been on a few trails where there's just a lot of blowdowns. I hiked the Benton Mackay Trail in February. It's a very primitive trail. I think I saw less than 6 people on the whole thing. There's a lot of blowdowns. If I could pick it up, I would move it off the trail myself. I don't even want to exaggerate, so I'm not going to give you a number, but it was an obscene amount of blowdowns. In some states, Virginia, Pennsylvania, on the Appalachian Trail, a ton of blowdowns, blowdowns on top of blowdowns. When I finished the Appalachian Trail, I was ahead of like the trail maintenance schedules in Vermont and New Hampshire and Maine. Those guys weren't even really out there working on the trail in Vermont. I was trying to do it in April and May. I was getting to New Hampshire and Maine in late May, early June. There are a lot of blowdowns. In the snow where I was getting stuck and had to turn around in Massachusetts and Vermont, there were snowdowns. Blowdowns in the snow. That's awful. So we'll see. I plan on going through this section and just going over the blowdowns. When I complain about it, because I love to complain about blowdowns, sometimes people tell me that's part of it. You got to deal with it. I hate going under them. That is my Achilles heel. If I have to go down blowdown, if I have to go over blowdowns all day, I'll just complain about it. But if I have to crawl under a blowdown, that's when I really start seething. So this is talking about the post-wildfire damage in the middle fork of the Feather River Canyon. A lot of people are skipping around this 30 miles or so. They're getting rides. But enough people are saying it can be done. So we're going to hike it. It is 7 o'clock. I should be to camp between 7:15 and 7:30. But what you just saw has been the trail. I haven't seen a single blowdown on the trail. And we'll see how I choose to document it tomorrow. Whether I take a short video of all the blowdowns I see, or just try to count them and tell you how many there were. But it'll be interesting. We're hiking a trail. Blowdowns aren't a big deal. Here's some right up here. But I expect to see more tomorrow because I'm only like 0.7 away from camp. But here's 2 for tonight. So I'm being fair. It's been more like 7 or 8, and here I'm stepping over something. And it's obviously a mess, but I am on or close enough to the trail. There are boot prints, so people have gone this way, and I just looked at the red line. So I'm close enough that once I get around all this crap, I should just be able to get right back on trail like everybody else whose footprints I'm following did. So as long as you have enough battery life and you keep checking your phone to make sure you're not walking off into the woods, I suspect you should be able to do this. Somebody had to blaze the trail in the first place.